And welcome back. Well, in college basketball, star Jimmer Fredette was the bomb. He was the leading scorer in all of the NCAA Division I his senior year, and people liked him a lot. He was drafted by our own Milwaukee Bucks in 2011, but spent the next 5 seasons with 4 different NBA teams, mostly on the bench. Today, Jimmer is with the Phoenix Suns, but the time in between is the focus of a new documentary. I'm thrilled to be chatting with Jimmer today about the film titled after his own nickname, The Lonely Master. It follows his 2017-18 season with the Shanghai Sharks. Good morning to you, Jimmer.
Good morning. It's good to be with you guys.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to chat with you. We were talking about the fact that originally you were drafted by the Milwaukee Bucks, but never actually signed or played with them. But you spent your 5 years in the NBA only to end up not being continuing with the NBA and going to Shanghai. Talk a little bit about that experience and kind of going back to a different league, the Chinese league, and what that meant to you.
Yeah, it was, when I first got into the NBA, obviously, you always think that things are going to go perfectly and, you never think that anything wrong is going to happen. And that's the way that you have to think if you want to be a great basketball player in any profession, if you want to be great. But sometimes it doesn't work out that way. I had an up and down career my first 5 years in the NBA, had some great moments and had some not so great moments. And then ultimately, was able to have an opportunity to go over to China to play. And been over there for the last 3 years, and so it was really a great experience. And instead of trying to be down on yourself and sulk about it and not being back in the NBA, I tried to take full advantage of the opportunity to go over to China and become better as a basketball player and as a person. And because of it, I think that it worked out extremely well, and ultimately was able to make it back into the NBA. And so it's been an awesome experience, and appreciate Shanghai and the fans over there and the organization.
Well, yeah, and not only did you go and go all out in Shanghai, but you led them to the playoffs for the first time in 12 years, in fact, 3 times in a row. And so you really did, step up your game and work really hard and go after this dream. And so I want to talk a little bit, first of all, how did you get the nickname, The Lonely Master, which is the title of the documentary that's coming out?
Yeah, in Chinese, it's my nickname's Jimo Dashen, and Jimo is obviously, it sounds kind of like Jimmer, but they can't really pronounce Jimmer over in China. They don't really have that ER, so they kind of Jimo, and because of that, it's the name of Jimo means lonely over in China. And at first I was like, oh man, that's kind of depressing. I mean, I don't want to be known as that. But then they came up and told me, they were saying, lonely is actually a good connotation of the word. It actually means you're kind of on the mountaintop by yourself and no one can kind of reach your level. And I was like, all right, that sounds a little bit better. And then they put on the Dashen at the end, which literally means big God, but we kind of changed it to master. So we changed it to Lonely Master. And so that's kind of how I got the nickname over there. And, it's been a great catchphrase and people really have enjoyed it.
It's really cool. And I love, earlier we were seeing a little bit of footage of you playing as a kid in your hometown. I know you had a ball court in your backyard. You played at the church. I was very interested to hear about this contract that you had, that you and your brother TJ signed, and it was above your bed. Tell me a little bit about that, because I think a lot of people, I'm somebody who very firmly believes in putting something out there and then that energy coming back to you. Why did you guys do that as a contract that you put above your bed to play in the NBA?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a great thing to be able to do, specifically with trying to write down the goals that you have. And I think if you write them down and you look at them every single day, you have that in your head. So every single morning when I woke up, I went to school thinking about playing basketball and being in the NBA. And then when I went to bed, I saw it and I dreamed about playing in the NBA. And sometimes writing things down really helps you try to put things into perspective, and sometimes it helps you speak things into existence. And I'm a firm believer in that as well. If you have a goal, I always suggest that you write it down and look at it every single day, read it, have it in your mind, and know that you can go out and accomplish anything that you want to if you put your mind to it. So that's the mindset that I've always had as a young person, and I'm grateful that my brother made me write it down and made me look at it every single day.
Yeah, visualize it, believe it, and receive it. Thank you so much for joining us. You can catch The Lonely Master premiere on Saturday, April 6th at 9 o'clock on BYUtv. Thanks so much, Jimmer, and best of luck to you with the Phoenix Suns.
Thank you.